Oyo Town, where he is receiving appropriate medical attention for a head injury sustained during the incident. Troops of Operation Adinkai have arrested a 65-year-old woman, Awa Abdulaziz, over alleged involvement in supplying drugs to Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast. The Media Information Officer, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Adinkai, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, disclosed in a statement that the suspect was arrested in Askira Uba local government area of Borno State. According to Lieutenant Colonel Uba, the suspect is alleged to be one of the suppliers of cannabis sativa to Boko Haram terrorist elements and a key conduit in the distribution of the substance across several communities within the theater of operation. The said preliminary investigation indicated that the suspect sourced the illicit substance from Sadati Baruwa local government area of Taraba State and transported it to the established supply routes for onward distribution. According to the statement, the suspect is in custody on ongoing preliminary investigation, while follow-up operations are ongoing to identify and dismantle the wider trafficking and distribution network. The Army noted that the interception underscored the importance of denying illicit supply chains that fuel violence, criminality, and instability in the region. In the meantime, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted a 30-year-old Brazilian woman, Ingrid Benavides, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, with 30.09 kilograms of heroin concealed in factory-sealed coffee packs valued at over 3 billion naira. The suspect, a private security officer in Brazil, was arrested on Friday upon her arrival in Abuja aboard a Qatar Airways flight following intelligence-led surveillance. A statement by the agency spokesman, Femi Obafemi, said a search of two checked-in bags revealed 21 factory-sealed packs of Brazilian coffee, which upon inspection were found to contain white substances, but later tested positive for heroin. Mr. Obafemi said during preliminary interrogation, Ms. Benavides claimed that she brought the illicit drugs into Nigeria under the guise of visiting the country for holidays. In the related development, NDLE operatives at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, on January 20, intercepted two passengers, Adedino Adedoyin and Afatapa Ochuko, en route to Istanbul, Turkey. Mr. Bafemi added that the suspects were found with 3,990 pills of tapentadol and tramadol concealed in food items packed in their luggage.
Your name? So you take out the additional luggage. This is you. This one is yours. This is your bag. It says Roadside. That's your name. That's your name, right? So this one.
The Nigerian Customs Service Ogun 1 Area Command, Ijiruko, has confirmed an attack on its personnel at Akokoro area of Iwoye in Imekoafon local government area of Osun State. In a statement, the command spokesperson, Zakaria Chado, said the incident occurred while officers of the command, acting on credible intelligence, intercepted a 12-car truck suspected of conveying a large consignment of illicit drugs and other prohibited items. The spokesman said that two of its personnel were critically injured in the attack that happened on Thursday at about 4 p.m. According to him, before reinforcement teams could arrive, the suspects mobilized a large number of armed hoodlums and launched a coordinated attack on the patrol team. In Lagos State, a driver has been hospitalized following a collision on Eko Bridge that severely damaged a vehicle and triggered severe traffic backups on Sunday morning. The incident occurred at about 6 a.m. on the bridge heading inward toward Nepa. involving a truck and a white car. Confirming the accident on its X-handle, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority disclosed that a car flipped over in the crash, leaving one driver injured. Details of the driver's condition were not immediately available, but LASMA confirmed that the individual was transported to a nearby hospital for treatment. In a later update, the agency said the affected vehicles had been successfully evacuated from the location, and normalcy was expected along the corridor. Elsewhere, supporters of the 2023 presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Rabiu Kwakwanso, stormed the Kano residence on Sunday. The development is coming on the heels of the defection of a state governor, Abba Yusuf. Kwakwanso, who disclosed this in a post on his official Facebook, said the supporters came from the Nasarawa local government area of the state. The former governor of Kano State thanked the supporters for standing firmly by him during what he described as a trying moment. Governor Yusuf recently dumped the NNPP for the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Kwakwanso, who was disappointed by the governor's decision, declared the day he left the party World Betrayal Day. Here in Osun State, the government has lamented the high level of environmental pollution and degradation in some parts of the state by residents who deliberately dump refuse by the roadside. The Ministry of Environment and Sanitation says this habit will result in spread of diseases, adding that it will henceforth impose heavy fines on offenders when caught. This comes as highways and public spaces in the state capital have gradually transformed into dump sites. Joseph Atewe completes the story. We'll bring you the package later. The federal government had reaffirmed its commitment to reviewing the consolidated health salary structure as part of efforts to resolve the ongoing industrial dispute with the joint health sector unions. The Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare made this known in a statement by its Director of Information and Public Relations, Alaba Balogun. The statement was in response to a joint release by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria over the dispute between the ministry and JUASU. Balogun said the ministry's attention was drawn to allegations that it deliberately refused to implement the report of the technical committee on the adjustment of funds as submitted in 2021, describing the claims as untrue and misleading. JUASU commenced an indefinite strike on November 14, 2025, following its demand that funds be adjusted in the same manner as the consolidated medical salary structure. The ministry said, contrary to the allegations by organized labor, the federal government had since the commencement of a strike held several conciliatory meetings with USU. It said the meetings were aimed at resolving the dispute amicably in spite of USU's decision to approach the National Industrial Court of Nigeria for intervention. And back to the story on environmental pollution. The government in Osun State has lamented the high level of environmental pollution and degradation in some parts of the state by residents who deliberately dump refuse by the roadside. The Ministry of Environment and Sanitation says this habit will result in spread of diseases, adding that it will henceforth impose heavy fines on offenders when caught. This comes as highways and public spaces in the state capital have gradually transformed into dump sites. Joseph Atewe completes the story.
Osogbo, the capital of Osun State, used to be one of Nigeria's cleanest. As a matter of fact, one of the country's sanitation and environmental discipline hub. But today, Osogbo and its environs is slowly sinking under the weight of its own garbage. What used to be a well-kept highways, tidy green veggies, and organized public spaces have gradually transformed into sprawling dump sites. From major markets in the state to sides of the roads of Otaifun to Stadium, Okoluwa to Aregbe, Igbono to Station Road, Stadium to Lameko, and Lameko to Dele Yesa, amongst others, the story is the same. Refuse by the roadside, plastic bags are flying like loose flags, and months of fleets competing for space with motorists and pedestrians. Osogbo, a city that once prided itself on its serenity, is now battling an environmental crisis that is both visible and alarming, but nothing seems to be done. In an interview with the Commissioner for Environment and Sanitation, Honorable Mayowa Adejorin, he agreed on the situation of deaths on the major roads of Osogbo, but states that the state government has been doing their best in maintaining a clean state. The Commissioner further stated that we wouldn't be in this situation if many residents, even the so-called educated ones, stop dumping debt by the roadside rather than purchasing a waste bin.
The state government has been doing their best, very best, in the environmental cleanliness of Osun State. The attitude of our people has been the major differences, the major problem that we have. It is illegal from the administrative point of view or from the organization point of view, the general point of view, to dump refuse on the median of the roads. It is legal. It is not in accordance with the rules and regulations of the Ministry of Environment and Sanitation. We cannot afford not to pick the refuse because of having the interest of the people at hand. What is expected of every citizen of Osun State is to have his or her waste bin in their respective homes.
Honorable Adejorin also disclosed that one of the main reasons is the lack of waste vehicles in the states and to a large extent personnel, which is something they are looking into.
Recently, we had a stakeholder meeting with PSP, and they told us that most of their cars are faulty. And we have directed the Uber, the Housing Management Agency, under this ministry. They are the people directly involved in the evacuation of waste. The Uber, they see their vehicles. We have started new registrations of new people to be engaged. And I can tell you, within a very short time, things will change for better.
Mr. Oyewole Oladoshu, General Manager of Osun Waste Management Agency, also echoed the words of the Commissioner, which is the lack of waste vehicles to move many of the debts to the dump sites. He says in as much as the state government is struggling but will try to get more waste vans, residents of the state holds the responsibility to stop dumping refuse by the roadside. Over the years, enforcement has played a major role in curbing people from doing the wrong thing. DC says the Commission will put in more efforts.
The agency is only having just few vehicles. When you are talking about enforcement, the number of enforcers in the local government in the state presently has reduced because people are retiring daily, and government is preparing to engage some of our youths, qualified youth, to fill in the vacancies. But until that one is taken officially, there's nothing we can do other than the little we are doing.
Mr. Oladoshu also emphasized the need to educate the population on the government policy, which needs them to bring out their waste right in front of their houses for the agency to dump. It disclosed that over 50 arrests were made in the past week alone due to illegal dumping, while also commending the state government for taking action.
We need to commend the effort of the government on enforcement. It's unfortunate that you didn't come yesterday. We have about 50 being arrested here. Yes, the majority of them are, let me say, uneducated elites. Because if you are using a Venza and you are being apprehended for illegal dump on the road, how will you address that? You are using Lexus, you are using Corolla, new model, heavy duty cars, expensive cars. How will you address that? Aside from that, the state government has clusterized all the communities in Osun. to ensure that we have enough contractors that can serve the clustered area. Their own assignment is collecting revenues all around the household. Government cannot use that heavy truck to go into streets. They can only plow the major road.
While the people deserve better and the capital that reflects its highest ideal, not its growing indifference, residents have also been urged to be more responsible by disposing their debts properly and not by the roadside, even as the state government continues to do their best. The commission says henceforth, anyone caught will face the full wrath of the law and a huge fine will be paid. Joseph Atewe, Western Spring Television News.
Moving on, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has urged state governments, housing institutions, development finance institutions, and other stakeholders in the building environment to actively participate in and support the National Home Ownership and Housing Development Campaign. In a statement issued by the ministry on Sunday, the minister said the campaign is scheduled to commence on March 4 and 5, 2026 in Katsina State. Dangiwa made a call while delivering a thematic address on Day 4 of the 14th National Council on Lands, Housing and Urban Development, currently holding in Ilorin Kwara State. According to the minister, the campaign represents the minister's determination to lead a unified and coordinated approach to sub-national housing development, working closely with state governments to ensure that federal programs, reforms, finance opportunities, and private capital are translated into real, visible, and deliverable projects at the state level. He urged stakeholders to see the initiative as a collective effort to drive sustainable home ownership across the Federation. Still to come, NAPTEP extends registration period for 2026 National Common Entrance Examination. We'll bring you more on this when we return.